I just sold this frame print for $134 plus shipping within 2 hours of listing it. Now it's time to ship. So I really want to make sure this is protected when it gets there. Obviously, I don't want this to break. This is a lot of money and I want to make sure it gets there safe. Big disclaimer here, I'm out of my wheelhouse on shipping art. I found this hack online using a really cheap summer item. We're going to be using the pool noodles. For $2 spent on these two right here, I'm going to cover the edges with these pool noodles. So I'm going to start by taking an X-Acto knife and slicing it right down the middle, cutting this pool noodle in half lengthwise. So I'm only cutting one side, and as you can see, I've already made the cut all the way down so that this pool noodle will open up like this. And as you may have guessed, I'm gonna slide this onto the frame. So I'll start at one end to make this really easy. And I've got one side of this piece inside the pool noodle. I'll just make the cut right here, and I'll do the same on the other side. Now we've got two sides protected, time to do the top and the bottom. All right, take a look at that. I've got all sides wrapped with the pool noodle. And for a couple bucks spent, this is a great way to protect it. This won't be the only thing that I'm gonna do to protect it, but this is a great start. Since I occasionally ship items that are non-clothing and maybe different to package, I wanna make sure I have different supplies around. And fortunately, I've got one of these big foam, heavy-duty foam boards that I bought at Home Depot. It came in a big sheet and I had it cut down that I used for something else. And I had a bunch of these in the closet. So I'm gonna snag this guy, cut it to the size of the frame, and put it on the front and the back. And it looks like once I cut this in half, it will perfectly fit over the glass and the back. And then I'm basically gonna tape that foam all the way around it. I am not leaving anything up to chance. I did put a bunch of tape on this. Now it's time to find a box big enough to put this in. I also keep a lot of random boxes back in the closet for times like this when I need it the most. I don't want to have to scramble and go to the store to buy a box and see if it fits. I've got a bunch in there, and this one is a pretty big box that I think will work. So I've cut this box down to what I need, and now I can fold this flap over, fold this over, and then now tape it down. There's not always an exact science. A lot of times it's just cutting these boxes down in weird ways to get it to fit, and we call this a Frankenbox. I'll spare you the details on the rest of this, but I'm going to cover it in tape to make sure all the seams are covered and that this is waterproof. I'll slap a label on it and it will be out. I'll definitely be shipping this either UPS or FedEx because the rate is a lot cheaper and I trust them a little more than I do USPS. Let me quickly say there are, of course, many ways that you can do this. This isn't the only way. This is just the way that I'm doing it. I'm sure that some of you out there watching have some different strategies that you can do. And if you do, put them in the comments for all of us to see. Thanks so much.